Welcome to another edition of Small Talk for You. This morning I wanted to add the post editor, or at least the beginnings of the post editor. We eventually wanted to be able to edit existing posts in addition to being able to add new posts, but we'll start with adding new posts. It's going to be a simple class, a subclass WA component with a post variable. We have the accessors, and then over here in the source we want to take a look at some of the basic methods. Render content on looks an awful lot like the other ones we've looked at before. So we render the title fields, the content fields, the owner fields, and the buttons. The interesting thing I want to look at is not all of these. I mean, you've seen these before where you have the kind of thing, a text area, and then the content gets stored into the content field of post. So that's the mapping. And then over here in buttons, again, since we're in VA, we can't use call, but in here we don't really have to. What we're doing here is we're doing a callback, self-answer true, self-answer false. So again, in our callback for the buttons, what we're doing is setting up more or less a dialog. But this requires a slightly different approach with the way we're doing the menus. So we'll go into Initialize Menu Component, and you look here and we have a check on the session. If the current user is not nil, meaning we actually went through the login screen instead of the view screen, then we're going to add an additional menu component. If we didn't go in this way, it's not going to be there at all. So it's kind of nice this way. We're just going to add new post with action, self-add post. If we look at the add post up here in actions, you'll see that here's where we're taking advantage of that answer. We come back and we show the editor on the answer we have a block, and in this case we're checking the result of the block. If it's true, store the post. If it's false, just let it fall through, and whether it was true or false, we're going to show the blog server and just throw away the answer because again we don't care in this case, we're just flowing through the blog server. So this is our flow control. The previous screen with the editor we returned either true or false, so we check the true or false value, and this is an awful lot like raising a dialog in a GUI. We raise the dialog, see if the OK or cancel got hit, and then continue processing. So even though we're not using call, VA works much the same with show answer. So this is kind of a nice thing about the way Seaside has evolved over time is less and less do you need full continuations. So let's go ahead and take a look at how that's going to work. We've just gone to blog server view, and you notice that nothing's rendering here as far as that option. So let's go to our login screen, and we'll go ahead and we'll log in as user Fred with password Flintstone. And now we have this new post here. So we'll go ahead and try that. And it says, okay, new stuff. This is new. And realistically, this should actually be showing this. I shouldn't have to type it, but you know, we're just doing a basic thing here. That's kind of an exercise left to the user, if you will. We'll hit save, and we go back to our server view with the new post there. So our form worked as we thought it would. And you notice it was pretty darn easy to do. All we had to do is check the result of the answer that came back, and over here in post view, when we're rendering the buttons, all we have to do is work much the same way as a dialog. When the button's pushed, we answer true. If this other button's pushed, answer false. Again, very much like classic GUI programming. Really nice feature of Seaside. So, that's about it for today. Till next time, have fun with whatever small talk you're using.